Hey everyone, my name is Nathan P and welcome back to another episode of Blu Ocean Crypto. So today I want to talk about Sterling, who is now the new commissioner of the Ruby Marketplace in Heroes of Mavia. And with his debut, there's also been a significant change in the amount of Ruby earnings you can now get in game. So I want to go through these details, introduce you guys to Sterling, give you some of my insights, and talk about why I think this is really good. Okay, so without further ado, let's jump right in.
I want to play.
Okay, so taking a look at their Discord, there's a new Sterling announcements channel. So this is where a lot of important information is going to be. So basically, he's just introducing himself to everyone. You know, he is the commissioner of the Ruby Marketplace. This is really cool. He's going to make sure that they stay on track and monitor Ruby inflation at a pace for a level that inflation is necessary as we all grow the Mavia island population and maintain a flow of Ruby that is at its core sustainable. So basically saying, okay, that's his job. That's what he's going to be focused on. Sweet. And just to kind of get caught up and future plans that he has, first he talks about how they've analyzed the Ruby scan and seen where we're at with inflation. It won't work at the pace we're currently trending for emissions and population of the Mavia island. So he'll need to make adjustments to bring the inflation down to a healthier rate of 6.8% per month, which equates to approximately 120% per year. Over the last 30 days, we've seen a 21% increase in total supply, which is only okay every so often. If we have 21% increases consistently, we'll eventually spiral out of control. I do agree. We have seen this happen in many other Web3 projects. The fact that they're addressing this, super cool. And the fact that we've got this cool kind of Sterling guy, mascot, you can almost say, for the Ruby Marketplace, I really like the way that they've done that. So he talks about one of the ways we will get to a healthier rate is reducing the daily earning caps for the population across the Mavia Island effective immediately. Glad they did this too. We don't need time to debate and discuss this. You know, this is something that Mavia is able to control the levers on. It's very important for all of us in the game that we have a healthy and sustainable economy. We need to make sure that we're supporting Mavia when things like this happen. Now, that doesn't mean feedback isn't valuable. That doesn't mean mistakes can't be made, but we need to get behind the fact that there will be constant adjustments. That's one of the advantages of Ruby not being a cryptocurrency, is it allows Mavia to make all these adjustments for the benefit of the project, the community as a whole. So they talk about how the new rates will feel like the rates before HQ8 advancements were discovered. Rates will continue to be monitored with the intention to make one more small change, which could be an increase or decrease, in the near future to ensure we're on track. Ongoing continuous evaluation of the Ruby economy is his top priority as the commissioner of the Ruby Marketplace. As the anticipation of the web marketplace rises, so should the confidence level that the Ruby is in the right place to introduce such an important feature. Follow him on X. We'll take a look at his X in a second. Keep an eye on this announcement channel for all things related to the Ruby Marketplace and Ruby economy. Now, I just want to slow down and talk a little bit about this too. So the fact that they're doing this before the web marketplace is really important because we know how key Ruby is going to be to all of that. The swap from Ruby to Mavia, the earnings, you know, everything is about Ruby. We don't want this infinite supply that just keeps running wild and dilutes the value of Ruby. It's going to dilute what we're actually earning in game on a daily basis. Now, there's another thing that I kind of figured this would be good with is land integration. If we're also preparing for land integration, we don't know when that's actually happening, but we do know it's on the radar for soon. In my opinion, we've kind of got web marketplace, land integration, wars. That's the three kind of main milestones I'm keeping focused on right now that I think are kind of up next on the docket. So with land integration, we know that's going to introduce more Ruby inflation because there's going to be people with the NFTs. Now, mind you, only 10,000 NFTs exist. And I think there's only something like 2,400 unique owners. But of course, that's not quite the amount of players. There'll be more players. Some guilds have lots of lands. Either or, there's going to be more Ruby put into circulation. So I think this also helps us prepare for that because a lot of us are very excited for when land integration does happen that we are going to be earning more Ruby. And here's kind of the hidden cool thing that I think, and a lot of people I noticed didn't catch this. Because of this, all the Ruby that we currently have just also became more valuable. Now, if we combine this with the MIP 103, the last video I did, with all the dead Ruby, We've got all this Ruby being burned. Now we've got Ruby earning rate reduced. That means that every single Ruby that you've spent blood, sweat, and tears earning is now way more valuable. This is actually extremely good for all of us diehard players who've been spending a lot of time earning Ruby. This is what we want to see. So let's just take a look. It talks about RubyScan a little bit, how he went through this. This is a great tool. If you guys are not using this, I highly recommend you spend a little bit more time kind of going through here. So we can see total Ruby circulations, supply change, Ruby minted in 7 days, Ruby burned, how many holders there are, legendary items. So all this stuff is really interesting to see because it's going to help us project, and it definitely helps Mavia project where all this is going. Now, just to take a look at his Twitter, and I definitely highly recommend you come over here and follow him because there's going to be some cool updates here. So he just kind of says the same thing. He's introducing himself, starting off that basically it's not going to work at the pace it's at. Basically, just an expansion of the Discord announcement, but just kind of expanding this here a little bit. They talk about how it's pre-HQ8 levels to prepare for the Red Marketplace, follow and turn on notifications. So really the follow and turn on notifications, the only thing that's kind of different from the Discord announcement, but I like how we've got kind of this mascot guy who's in control of this. We've got some cool art, some more announcement banners. I like how they did this. I thought this was really clever. So just to kind of show you guys what those rates are, if you guys remember, this is the sheet that I made. These were the old HQ7 rates. Now we're off by like 2 or 3 Ruby because there were some rounding errors. Like I think this one's actually 543, but they're pretty much as close as they need to be. So this is now what we're looking at. This was what we previously had. Now, yes, going from 1303 to 784 feels like a punch in the gut, but remember that 784 is now way more valuable. So I am definitely excited for this change. This is pretty much what we're working with now, these rates over here. Get used to it. And like I said, just take solace in knowing that the Ruby you are earning and have just became more valuable. So I'm super stoked for Sterling. I think this is really cool. I'm excited to see more adjustments. I'm wondering what that minor adjustment's going to be too. I would almost argue a little bit more of a reduction would probably be good. I think a reduction helps us more than an increase because everyone's on the same level when that happens. Okay, guys, thanks so much for being subscribed to the channel. Really makes a big difference with the YouTube algorithm. Helps a ton getting all this content out there to people, especially people interested in base builder games or Web3 games. And of course, smash that like button. We'll see y'all in the next video. Cheers.